This is in Northshore School District. It's a 0.23 acre lot, but it feels way, way, way bigger. If we're looking at the front right here, I do want to point out it's brand new garage doors. The front door is new and the roof is about 6 years old. You've got garden space, and then here we are, we're looking at the backyard, and in the lower left-hand corner, you can kind of see this arbor area where they've got a fire pit set up right now, and then you've got a brick patio off of the dining room and also off the family room. It's a fantastic backyard.
I think that was where I was caught off a little, and you know how I am. I'm pretty good at guessing the sizes and guessing the pricing and whatnot. But the fact that it's a corner lot, it made it seem much bigger than it actually is.
Well, look at that. Look how big that is.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Listing Launchpad Director's Cut, where we bring you the latest listing and talk about all the behind-the-scenes story with the listing agent who is responsible for it. And today, we have one of our favorite agents back in action, and we're talking about 19706 6th Drive Southeast in Bothell. And let me tell you, I just got done shooting this house yesterday, and it is fantastic. So I cannot wait for you to see it because the lot itself is one of those corner lots that makes it feel way bigger than it actually is. And it comes with a, I don't know, a man cave, a man shed, like whatever you want to call it. So I can't wait for you to see it. Okay. Lisa, you weren't supposed to react to that. Come on. No, you're good. All right, so before we get started, all information discussed on this video is intended for entertainment purposes only. All reasonable efforts have been made to ensure the accuracy of the content of this video at the time of preparation. Information presented is believed to be reliable, but subject to change at any time and without notice. So basically what that means is please don't refer to this video and say, oh, but you said. When you write an offer, and I promise you a lot of you will, just make sure that you're, getting your information from the MLS listing and, reach out to the agent, okay? This is so that we can talk about a lot of fun stuff, so mostly for entertainment purposes. So without a further ado, let me bring in my favorite agent and my good friend, Lisa Bender, to the director's cut. What's up, Lisa?
Hey, Jay.
I'm so excited for this because like the transformation and that backyard, and I'm leaving everybody on a cliff right now because I'm saying all this, so like we should probably get into it. But
Yeah,
like before we do, it's been kind of crazy last couple of weeks, hasn't it?
it has.
What like you have any take on like what gives? Like is it more the season? Are you seeing anything in particular? Like, what are your thoughts on sort of like this all of a sudden like picked up demand, if you will?
Well, all I can do is speak for me.
Of course.
And for me, a lot of my sellers that are going to be coming on the market have been queued up for some time, and they've been going through the preparation process, and now they're finally ready to rock and roll. This one, we actually were hoping to be ready mid-April, and the scope of work, they added more stuff to do as they were going along, and that's part of why it turned out so amazing. So we're, a couple of weeks behind where we thought we would be, but I love it to the moon and back.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure this is what I would call the first weekend there, right? There's probably not going to be a second weekend. And
Oh, for sure.
it'll be interesting for us to kind of maybe come back to this at some point later and say, what if we say without, like, let's say we didn't do all those extra stuff that pushed the listing out a few weeks, and maybe like do a imaginary compare and contrast on what it could have been versus what it actually would have been, because that's always the thing that people are always wondering is like, is doing this worth it or doing that worth it versus the timing of it. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens on our review date, and I'll keep you
That
posted.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's get right into it. So this is the corner lot that I was talking about. Like we actually talked about the actual size of this lot, and I I guessed it to be way bigger because it feels that way. So tell us a little bit about the exterior, the location, the lot. Have at it.
So this is in Northshore School District. It's a 0.23 acre lot, but it feels way, way, way bigger. Um, now that we're looking at the front right here, I do want to point out it's brand new garage doors. Um, the front door is new, and the roof is about 6 years old.
Mm,
Um, you've got garden space, and then here we are. We're looking at the backyard, and in the lower left-hand corner, you can kind of see this arbor area where
hmm
they've got a fire pit set up right now, and then you've got a brick patio off of the dining room and also off the family room. It's a fantastic backyard. It's just feels huge. Well, look at that. Look how big that is.
hmm And it does. I think that was where I was caught off a little. And you know how I am. I'm pretty good at guessing the sizes and guessing the pricing and whatnot. But the fact that it's the corner lot, it made it seem much bigger than it actually is, at least for
Mm-hmm.
me.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Look.
that backyard, I'm a big fan of sort of like that natural living space, going out to the whether it's a deck or a patio to the backyard, and this one kind of has it. I don't want to spoil it before the photo comes up, but
Right.
there's multiple ways in different floors that you can access that backyard. And man, look at this picture. Who took that? That's a pretty nice
Yeah.
picture.
Some great photographer.
I know, right? So
Oh,
here's the back of that. So this is
yeah.
the thing that I was talking about. There's multiple entry to the backyard. What were
And
you
while
gonna
we're
say?
here, I wanted to point out that the windows are new.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
Lots of new stuff.
Yes.
So
So,
that patio door you see like kind of in the middle of the house, that's the exit to the backyard from the lower floor, and then
yep,
there's also a exit out off of the dining room.
exactly.
And then here we have our what is there an official name for that? Are we just calling it a shed? Because I feel like it's got to be a little bit more creative than that.
Well, we're calling it an office shed because
Okay.
it's a 12 by 14 shed,
hmm
and the seller actually worked from home from that shed. Plus, it's got a loft area that they had a bed up there, so like you could almost call it a guest room. But I mean, it's finished. It's um, got the power and
Right.
all the things. Like I say, the seller actually worked from home out of
Right.
this, and it's a really great office space.
Yep. And we do have a picture of the inside coming up, so we'll be able to show. Man, the who did the gardening? Who did the landscaping? Like it looks so good.
Well, actually, we had my preferred vendor come in, and he just knocked it out of the park.
That's yeah. That was I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
And we've got the flower beds. Now, I don't know if I've seen like flower beds like on the other side of the gate. Was that like a design choice, or did the sellers always have it out there? What was kind of the thought behind that?
I don't know. That's a great question that I don't have an answer to.
Because I was like, is it possible that someone just like brings over a bunch of buddies and like walk off with it?
It's pretty darn heavy. You would need a lot of
That's
buddies. Yeah.
I I figure. All right, so now we're looking at the inside of the house. Tell us everything about it.
All right. So, first of all, you've got new LVP on this whole main level. That's a new entry light there. And they did some fresh painting in here. I'm pretty darn sure that the carpet is also new. Um,
It definitely felt new.
yeah. Um, yeah, so that flooring in the dining room used to be different than the flooring in the kitchen used to be different than the flooring in the entry, and so they just took LVP through the whole thing and just tied it all together, and it looks
Nice.
phenomenal.
Nice.
Look, these amazing pictures.
Oh, thank you. Well, the amazing pictures don't happen unless there's the effort from the listing agent putting everything together, sellers doing, everything they can, and then the cleaners. And you know how it is, right? This is not anyone, I always tell the agents, like, I just get the benefit of coming in last, and I always see the beautiful end result,
Right,
which
right.
I'm probably spoiled a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could have seen this, if you could have seen this.
Hmm.
It's turned out so beautiful.
And I can tell you that there's a ton of natural light coming in.
Yes.
So regardless of like I probably could have taken these pictures without any lights on because I was
Mm.
there about like midday, and it would have been just fine. So ton of natural lights. What do you think? What do you think in terms of um like the value? So for instance, like just having not like flooring that doesn't match. Do you feel like things like that have somewhat of a correlation to, you know, either someone deciding like I will make an offer versus not, or like I'll offer more versus not? Do you feel like flooring, painting, like stuff like that makes a difference?
100%. I've shown homes where the flooring doesn't match and the buyers are like, I don't want to deal with this, or it's going to cost too much, or why don't we keep an eye on this house and then see if it sells, because I don't want to make a list price offer.
Mm,
Um, and so by doing the right thing to appeal to more buyers, you end up with more money.
mm,
Um, you know, plus, I mean, flooring, even in real life, is not cheap.
right.
Um, so if a buyer's like hops online and then they're like, okay, well, it's $9 a square foot or $10 a square foot, and look, and then they, inflate the price. Maybe it is that, maybe it's not that, but it's just so much better. And look at with the photos to have it in there too. I mean, that's the other thing is the
Mm-hmm.
very first thing we have to do is snag a buyer who's on Zillow or, whatever website they're using for their search. We
Right.
need them to look at it and go, wow, this is amazing. I need to go and see it. And the problem is that sometimes people don't take it to the wow point, and
Mm,
maybe it's not in such bad shape that it's appropriate for a flipper. And so, like, it's kind of in this nebulous, you just don't get as much money. You have to,
absolutely.
you have to
Absolutely.
price for it. So,
I I want to go back to the kitchen. I feel like I've seen a different variation of this type of kitchen where that granite countertop opposite of the sink. Some houses kind of have that as a open, like a breakfast bar kind of thing.
yeah.
I like this setup better because it actually creates kind of that island feel, and you could be working in the kitchen and you can easily like put stuff up there. I thought that was really nice because for someone who's doing a lot of stuff in the kitchen, like counter space is gold.
Yes, absolutely. And I love the little copper accent rail
Mm-hmm.
underneath there.
Right
It's
here.
so cute.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I
then
love
the
it.
shelves and everything. So, I mean, this
Right.
is a great spot too. Like, if you are creating a buffet for people or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like, there's, yeah, so much counter space. And, people come through. And then after dinner, if you want to just sit with people and not like have dishes stare you in the face, just put them
Right.
around the corner.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that buffet line because I just totally pictured it in my head. Like, have the food there, and you can just have people come back around, go around the
Yep.
dining table, and go outside and chill.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know why. Every house, I'm just like, where do we eat and where do we put the TV?
It's all about the comfort. Come on now.
That's right. That's right. So here we have the lower level. So is this are we calling this a tri-level or what's
Yeah,
the technical term?
it is a tri-level. And then in front of you there is where the washer and dryer goes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, the previous people had a wet bar in that little nook there.
Okay.
Um, I think that it would be a great spot for a bookshelf, a toy chest. Um, Especially, it's a good spot for toys because then it's not necessarily in your visual. Like you have the kids clean up their toys, toss it in the box, and it's not in your
Mm,
your sight from up the stairs.
right, right.
Super cute
That's a
half
great
bath.
idea. That's a perfect like kids play area, I think.
Oh yeah, especially because it's on slab. So like
Right.
when people are bouncing around, it's not gonna reverberate through the whole house.
Correct.
So
And
cute.
there's the exit out. So again, like in Seattle, like summertime, you just do whatever you can to just get outside, right?
Yeah.
And having two separate entries like make it really easy.
Yep.
So this is our primary.
Yep.
I
Nice
really like
walk-in
that barn
closet.
door style closet.
Yep. And then in the primary bathroom, the shower is brand new. The
Okay.
counter is new. The backsplash is new. The flooring is newer. But
Okay.
like that shower is brand spanking new.
Got it. Got it. The flooring upstairs matches the main level flooring as well, or
No, it's different.
got it.
Um, but it's not touching the other flooring, so you probably wouldn't
That
necessarily.
that's why I couldn't tell
Right.
because it was very natural feeling. So
Yeah.
this is the bedroom across from the primary.
Yeah, and then this little play area
Mm-hmm.
on this little climbing thing.
Yep.
The seller says that that can stay, or if someone doesn't need it, they're happy to take it out and patch the wall if need be. Um,
Oh, got it. Got it.
but yeah,
Okay.
it's a cute little. I mean, their kids loved it.
Right. Okay. So they can so if they want to, they can actually keep it.
Yep.
Fantastic. I did notice a couple of hooks on the ceiling. I wonder if they were hanging stuff for the kids to like play on or something like that.
Probably. It's been a
Okay.
little while since I saw it in its original state. Um, yeah, and of course, this room is so cool with that arched window and plenty of light.
And that matches the big arch window in the living room
Yeah.
too. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep. And then yeah, updated hallway bath.
And the bathroom. Yep.
Yep.
All right. So what isn't updated in this house? I mean, it feels like a lot of it is like brand new.
Right. And now right now we're looking at the shed, but the shed floor is going to be
Is
is
painted.
it
Yep.
is painted actually. Yeah. So
Right.
we'll have a photo
We
in the
have updated
future.
pictures coming. Yep.
Yep.
And then I do believe I took a picture of, okay, right there. So you can see kind of where that ladder is. I left the ladder there on purpose so people can see that that loft is actually accessible.
Yep. Cool.
And this is a pretty spacious spot.
Oh yeah.
And I would not mind having that be my office where I can just completely be separated
Yep.
from my dog.
Yes. What? You have a dog that was barking a second ago? Ah, here we are.
Here we are. I feel like this is, I mean, other than just the interior being all, new and fresh, like the outdoor living is kind of like that other highlight of this
Oh,
listing.
yeah. I'd call it like, the cherry on top or whatever, but I mean, like, this is actually part of the Sunday,
Hmm.
like if the house is 2 scoops of ice cream, the yard's another couple of scoops and a brownie. Like, I mean, or banana, whatever. I mean, like the yard is just phenomenal. I love the yard.
Now, now you're just making me hungry, but
I know
I
I've
mean,
getting close to dinner, I think.
usually I see a lot of homes where, you've got that patio area and like there's a sitting area, but to have that additional, are we calling that a gazebo?
You know, I don't
What are
know.
we
I
calling
mean,
that?
I,
It's
I'm
like a
I
cover space.
I've kind of called it an arbor because it's open with the slats.
Okay.
And I kind of consider a gazebo to have. I don't know exactly. I
Hmm.
To be honest. I'm just calling it a really cool, cozy space in the corner of the yard.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Just grab a beer, head out there. Sun is setting, fire's going,
Yep.
and all you need is a TV.
No. All you need is some marshmallows and chocolate and graham crackers.
All you need is a television. That would be nice. All right,
Oh,
I'll stop.
Jay.
I'll stop. Um, okay, so we are, let's see, we're recording this on a Tuesday. You're launching on Thursday, right? May
Correct.
2nd? Okay, so
Yes.
by the time people see this, listing will be live and we are reviewing offers when?
On Tuesday the 7th, I have
On
to.
Tuesday the 7th
Is
feels
that
like
right?
it's way out there. I feel
Let's see.
like it would be, yep, you're right. Tuesday the 7th, my mistake.
Okay.
Okay. And what about open house?
No, we're not having one.
We are not having an open house. So if people want to see it, they just have to get in touch with you.
Yep. Or, of
Okay.
course, reach out to their agent.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, I want to be able to reach out to people. Even though we have a review date, the seller always has the option to consider an early offer. Um,
Right.
and so if some, crazy offer came in, I'd want to be able to reach out to people that thought they were coming, Sunday afternoon and say, like,
Right.
hey, I know you had I'd be talking to their agent, of course, being like, hey,
Right.
you're going to show your buyer on Sunday afternoon. An offer has come in, trying to give your buyer an opportunity to see it. You need to hurry up.
Right. And,
And
and and here's the thing, like that offer review date is not a set in stone because when you look at it on the MLS listing, it always says reviewing offer on this date or sooner.
yeah,
Right? So you can't count on that. So what you have to do is that's why it's so important for you to have that representation. And so that, by the way, like make sure if you come by, you want to see it, and make sure your agent does, get in touch with Lisa because like she just mentioned, if they don't initiate anything, there is nothing for the listing agent to get back to let people know like, hey, like something came in, right?
right,
And this is
right,
where we talk about having that communication. And unfortunately, there are agents out there that just like not they're not as good as they should be at their job.
well, and you've kind of brought up a good point. And if a buyer is still watching at this point, I would, and your buyer, and you're thinking, I'm going to hit up an open house. My recommendation is let your agent know ahead of time. I'm going to go look at these 3 open houses. And then that way, the agent can reach out to those listing agents and say, hey, I have buyers that are going to be coming to your open house. This is their name so that you know to expect them And if something comes in early, will you please let me know? Because then we will go out there and view it. So,
Absolutely, and that's a great point. Like, and let's say I did that. I represent the buyer, and let's say I called you and say, "Hey, Lisa, Todd and Becky are gonna be by on your open house," and you would remember that. And should you run into Todd and Becky, then you're gonna be like, "Oh, I heard from your agent," and like, what a great just way of showing the your clients like, "Hey, we're communicating." Like we're out here for your benefit. And
right,
again, the most important thing being like, oh my goodness, like someone's about to make an offer. Like then you can let them know, like, is Todd and Becky, interested, right?
right,
That
exactly.
way, because I can't imagine how many buyers, back in the heydays of all the craziness, just miss stuff out because the agents just kind of didn't do their part, right?
Well, but we have to count on the buyer to do their part too. Like
Correct.
I
Correct.
had, I have to admit, I had buyers that I was working with for 4 years. It wasn't like we weren't out every weekend or whatever. They went to a lot of open houses. And I did not know where they were headed. Now, they
Mm,
did tend to reach out to me on stuff that looked extra special. Like they were pretty excited and they thought, like, well, maybe this will be the one. Um, but for the most part, they were kind of just like, oh, let's, we've got time. Let's just do these open houses. So there's no, and they did miss out on some homes.
mm. Because
But
they didn't let you know, so you couldn't let anybody know.
exactly.
Got it, got it. We could always put one of those trackers on their car.
That's probably a good idea. I'm sure
Yeah,
they
or on
wouldn't
their
mind.
on their ankle.
There you go. That's right.
All right. All right, everybody. Well, make sure you go check it out. 19706 6th Drive Southeast. And once we have the MLS number and everything and with the web URL, we'll be sure to link it in the comments. So you'll be able to see this on the listing website, as well as information will be on Lisa's YouTube channel, I Am Their Media YouTube channel. Lisa, thank you so much for your time, and we're gonna be busy in the next couple of weeks, so I'm excited to do as many of these things, with you.
Awesome. Me too. I'm excited.
Yay, yay, yay! So I will be seeing you in a couple of days, and in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can feel free to leave a comment, reach out to Lisa, have your agent reach out to Lisa, or make sure that you can get your agents and be able to go tour the house. So 19706 6th Drive Southeast, Bothell, Washington 98012. All right. Thank you so much for joining. This has been Listing Launchpad Director's Cut, and we will see you at the next listing.
Thanks, Jay.